You know, in a world that is just obsessed with optimization, with life hacks, and this idea of constant relentless growth, what if the real secret to moving forward isn't about speeding up, but about, well, slowing down and getting stable? Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating framework called ManOS. Think of it as an operating system for humans, one that puts stability before speed. So, let's explore what it's all about.
We have all been there, right? You set a big, ambitious goal, you pour your heart and soul into it, you try to be disciplined, and yet, somehow, you just burn out. You get stuck, or you fall right back into those same old patterns. It really makes you wonder, why does this keep happening? Why do we fail even when we're genuinely trying our best?
To get to the bottom of that, we're going to break down the core ideas behind ManOS. First, we'll look at that common pattern of failure. Then, we'll completely reframe what failure even means. This is a big one. After that, we'll define ManOS itself, explore the laws that make it work, and finally, we'll uncover its ultimate goal, which is, surprisingly, silence.
Okay, so let's kick things off with that pattern. According to the author of ManOS, Mahesh Sanjay Chivate, the reason we fail isn't because we're not smart enough, or disciplined enough, or ambitious enough. Nope, that's not the real issue.
The real problem is that we're trying to apply all this effort without a stable, coherent internal system to actually support it. I mean, think about it. It's like trying to run complex software on a computer that's full of viruses and has no memory left. We demand discipline from ourselves when our energy is shot, or we try to find deep meaning when our brains are totally overloaded. The problem isn't you, it's the operating system.
And this brings us to what I think is the most powerful idea in the whole framework. It's this complete reframing of our struggles. Instead of blaming ourselves for our flaws, we're encouraged to diagnose the system.
This is such a cool way to look at it. Check out this slide. That feeling of laziness, the system just sees it as a recovery missing error. You feel like you have a lack of willpower? The system says your state is compromised. This totally shifts the focus from judging yourself to debugging. It's not a character flaw, it's a bug in the code that you can actually fix.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Every failure is treated as a system violation, not a personal flaw. I mean, just let that sink in. That one idea is a total game changer. It gives you permission to stop beating yourself up and start acting like an engineer for your own life. The job isn't self-judgment, it's system correction.
So what exactly is this system? Let's get into the details of ManOS, because it's designed to be a really practical, hands-on operating system, not just some abstract philosophy.
The most important part is right there in the definition. The primary goal is to stabilize life, not optimize it. That just flies in the face of all the hustle culture stuff we hear every day. ManOS isn't about cramming more things into your schedule. It's about building a solid foundation so that your life can run with clarity and sustainability day in and day out.
ManOS really carves out this unique middle path. It helps you avoid the two big extremes you always see in self-help. On one hand, it's not some rigid productivity manual, because it gets that discipline is just a temporary tool. On the other hand, it's not a spiritual escape from reality, because it's all grounded in practical, real-world action.
Okay, so how do you actually build this system? Well, ManOS treats a person like a complex machine with different layers, and all of these layers are governed by predictable laws, not by random, fleeting moods. These are the 5 core layers of the system. The key thing to get here is that they're all connected. So if you overload one layer, let's say your physical health, by not getting enough sleep, the damage doesn't just stay there. It pops up somewhere else. You might get brain fog, which is a cognitive problem, or feel really irritable, which is an emotional one. It's all one system.
The whole system is built in a really logical way, right from the ground up. You have to start with the absolute basics, managing your inputs, getting proper recovery, and keeping your internal state stable. It's only after you get that foundation solid, a clean base, that you can even think about moving on to the higher level stuff, like managing your time, being creative, and actually getting things done. And this brings us to the final, and maybe the most fascinating part of the whole framework. After all this work of building a stable system, what's the point? What's the end goal? It's not what you'd think. It's not about endless productivity or constant happiness. The goal is silence.
Now, this is a really important idea to get right. Silence, in this sense, isn't about being quiet or hiding from the world. Think of it more like a perfectly tuned engine. It's the feeling of a system that's running so smoothly there's no friction. It's the absence of that internal resistance, that state where the right action just kind of happens naturally, without you having to force it.
And in the end, the author makes it super clear this is not a belief system. It's a tool. He's not asking you to admire the theory, he's inviting you to actually try it. Test one of the laws and see what happens. If it makes your life more stable, great, keep it. If it doesn't, throw it out. It's just radically practical.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. In a world that is constantly pushing you to achieve more, to optimize more, to be more, what would happen if your main goal shifted? What if your focus wasn't on adding more stuff, but on cultivating less internal resistance? Just think about that.